Hello, my name is Abbas Damohwala, and today I will be presenting a topic that is neuron. Alright, so neuron is the functional unit of our nervous system. Neuron or the nerve cell, it is the cell that makes the nerve tissue, alright, or the nervous tissue. So, the nervous system in humans it is divided into two categories: central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system is made up of brain and spinal cord that regulates and controls all of our activities and coordinates between our various organs, while the peripheral nervous system constitutes various nerves that act like a communication or that serve for the communication purpose between the brain and spinal cord, that is the central nervous system, and the different organs of our body. So today we will be learning about neuron or the nerve cell. Alright, so whenever I teach neuron or whenever we have to understand about the functioning of a neuron, we must assume a simple thing, something that we see in our day-to-day life. And what is that thing? It is simply a mobile charger. Let's assume that this is a mobile charger. Now, we all know that the pins at the adapter, there are two pins that receive the current. Alright, adapter, it is the main thing or the main processing part of a charger. Then comes the long cable that conducts the current. It receives the current. It is the main thing which regulates the activity or which regulates the functioning of a charger. It is the conducting wire through which the current is conducted, and at last comes the small pin through which the current is transmitted into the or transferred into our mobile phones. Now, neuron. What similarity and how can we compare this charger with the neuron? Let's discuss about the various parts of a neuron and their function. First of all, this part, this entire, now as you may know that neuron is the longest cell in the human body. It may be up to 1 meter long. Alright, so this part of the neuron, this is called cyton or soma. It is also called cell body. It is also called perikaryon. So this is the structure of a neuron. This is a part of a neuron where different cell organelles are present. Different cell organelles, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, and nucleus as well. They are all present in the cyton. Now, neurons they lack centriole, uh, cell organelle that is specifically present in animal cell but is not present in neuron. That's why neurons they lack a ability to divide. Now, cyton, apart from nucleus, it also contains some granules called Nissel's granule. Nissel's granule is a cluster of, it is a cluster of ER and ribosomes. It is a cluster of ER and ribosomes that serve for the massive, or we can say for the protein requirement of neuron. Neurons require various proteins, all right, for various purposes, like for transmission of nerve impulse, for carrying. There are some proteins called kinesin, dynein that carry protein back and forth from the front and to the end of the neuron. Okay, so there are different proteins present. Now, so Nissen's granule, it is a cluster of ER and ribosome. Then, as you may see that from this cell body, some structures are branching out. In Latin, we use a word dendro. Dendro means various branches. So from here, the term comes dendron and dendrite. The main branches that arises from the cyton are called dendron, and the further branches of dendron are called dendrite. So Nissel's granule are present in cyton as well as in dendron and dendrite. I hope this is till here it is clear to you. Then, what is dendrite? Dendrite is just like this pin. It is not covered by any structure. These pins are not covered; they are exposed. They are not covered by any structure, and these pins they receive the current in the same manner. Our neuron, one of the most important thing of our nervous system is that it can detect stimulus from the environment, all right, and conduct it in the form of nerve impulses. So dendron it receives the stimuli, or we can say it receives the impulse from other neuron, all right, or from any organ it can receive, or from any receptor it can receive the impulse. It is short and unbranched. Then comes axon hillock. This long wire, as you can see over here. Okay, this long wire, it is called axon, and from the point from where the axon begins is called axon hillock. All right. So axon is a long part of a neuron. All right. You can see it is unbranched. Only it is branched at the end. So axon, just like this wire, just like this wire of a charger, it conducts the current. In the same manner, axon, it has a function of conduction of nerve impulse. Conduction of impulse or nerve impulse. Alright. So axon conducts the impulse. Now, as you have seen in a charger, the cable, it is insulated, covered by an insulating layer. In the same manner, this axon, it is also covered by an insulating layer, and that insulation is termed as myelin sheath. Insulation, it is termed as myelin sheath. This myelin sheath is rather produced by this cell. This is called Schwann cell. Schwann cell, it synthesizes myelin sheath over the axon. Now this myelin sheath, it provides insulation, so it prevents the charge from leaking out of the axon. When an impulse, or rather an electrical impulse, is conducted in a neuron or generated in a neuron, it is because of various charges. Okay, exchange of charges take place. Those charges or those ions are sodium and potassium. Exchange occur between axon and the surrounding fluid or the extracellular fluid. So exchange occur between them. To prevent the charge from leaking, myelin sheath have risen. And myelin sheath also serve one more purpose, that is they increase the speed of conduction of an impulse. At the end, the axon, it also branches to form structures called telodendria. Again, branches. Telo means at the end. So, I'm sorry. Branches at the end, they are called telodendria. At the end of telodendria are swollen structures called synaptic knob. Both of them, they are collectively called axon terminal. Axon terminal. Synaptic knobs store various chemicals called neurotransmitters. So, as you know that this is the pin, last pin of it, this pin at the end of the charger. It transfers the current to a mobile phone. In the same manner, the synaptic knob, it transmits the impulse, or rather this axon terminal, it transmits the impulse from one neuron to another neuron, or from one neuron to brain, spinal cord, CNS, or from a neuron if the neuron is motor neuron, that is motor neuron is a neuron that is emerging from the brain, all right, and is taking the impulse towards any organ. So if an organ is motor, sorry, if a neuron is a motor neuron, it may also transmit this impulse to a muscle or to a gland. So that's all about neuron. Thank you.